Welcome back, everybody. Well, I have no idea what we're gonna do today for sure. Rained yesterday morning, 4th of July. We got 8,500. Anyway, I'll do some cow stuff, maybe some clean up some fence. Who knows where it'll take us. That's what's happening on Ranching Sodak. That wasn't very climatic because the flippin' battery's dead. Not sure what's going on with this thing. Nice. Oh boy, now my phone's ringing. Hello. You bet. There was a guy with another Moco that had some parts he said he would sell, but we gotta get this thing jumped. Do you think this will reach over to the Super Duty? That'd be handy if it would. Stand by. Oh, we're golden. There's 2 batteries, so. I hauled Mike a load of gravel day before last. The old gravel truck there worked pretty good. All right, don't shut this pickup off. I'm gonna put some gas in it. I don't know if I trust that gauge, but she says we're out. The battery's dead, so we gotta leave her run for a while. Doggy cam. Kind of see we're rotating here. Here's the fence. You can see the grass over here, nice and tall and really starting to thicken up down below, choking out the weeds. And then over here we'd already grazed. Of course the weeds are showing because they ate the grass, but this is only our 2nd year doing the rotational grazing on this section of ground. We got to bounce across here. We got to drive 3/4 of a mile across pasture just to get to this center cell. There's no path or nothing. We're just out here freelancing it. It looks nice, of course, with all the rain too. It really looks good when you give it a break all the way. I mean, it's July now. We haven't grazed it. Not sure if that's the best way to do it or not, but we're doing it. I've been in this one for about a week. Still lots of stuff out here, but we're gonna keep them moving here now. Keep moving here in another week. This will grow back real easy because there's lots of stuff left out here. They're hungry for salt. This one doesn't have a plug in there. I don't know if there's another one of these feeders around here or not. They used to sit right down there, but we'll have to look around here and see if there's another feeder. Look for another feeder around here. So like a dry cow, you see how that cow's acting there? She's goofy wild, got her head up, she's fat, no bag. Cows that lose their calves definitely act not like cows. They act like feedlot steers. After a while they just are goofy, so we'll pull them off and we work these calves and sell them. I don't ask questions. If you don't have a calf, when I get my hands on you, you're gone. I don't know why or what, but it doesn't really matter to me. Still driving around looking for another mineral feeder. I almost think I hauled one a little farther this way, but I do not remember. I should have more in here. I'm striking out on the salt feeder. I think we'll have to go build one. Those people are coming to pick up that Moco, so we got to get out of here anyway. So we'll probably go do that, build another feeder or 2. The deal is with this rotation, when I'm rotating, I got 7 pastures where I used to have 3. I'm short of feeders because I'm not moving my feeders. I just try to get 2 in each one of these pastures. So it's gonna take me a little bit to get organized, build up some more feeders. But what I see of the cows so far, they're all looking really nice. And if there's any issues, of course, they didn't all come. There's still lots of cows over the hill there. This cow, what the heck is her deal? Look at her bag, and it's like she hasn't calved yet or something goofy. That's not necessarily good. That's one I had last year. Does look like she hasn't calved. That'd be super late. Those will weed themselves out too. We pulled the bulls, but some pastures we didn't get them all pulled till into fall a ways. There is an outlier here and there. Anyways, let's go get some stuff for a feeder build. Let's see if I got the book for that Moco in the shop or if it's over at Jim's. I think we used up all that conveyor belt. I gotta find some more belting. No manual at home in the shop, so it must be over at Jim's. I think we'll get a couple semi-tires out of the pile too. We'll make mineral feeders out of semi-tires. Oh, easy Ice Cube. Ice Cube's jamming out. I'll look for the book, and then I told him I'd give him any extra parts and stuff that we had. So we'll kind of go through some of that. Check the old rain gauge over here. We had 85 at home. Yeah, there's an inch. So we had inch and a quarter, almost inch 30 here. Looked like a little more puddles over here. It's only a mile away, but our gauge could have been a little wonky too. I don't know. She's wet, boys. The haying equipment is sitting fairly still for the last week. Not much action. Found it. And I found a few parts here too, so might be some more around, but all right, let's go help him get hooked up. Let me see, he pulled in over here. She fired right up. Well, we got them on their way. Got some parts out of here for them. My ADHD kicked in, so I greased my mower while I was walking by it, I guess. I don't know. I really should sharpen these knives, but we came over here to get a semi-tire to make a salt feeder, and then we're taking salt out today. So back on track, folks. We'll head over to the pile and get a tire, and then we got to find some belting or something for a bottom. And the dogs tipped over my screw bucket. All them little screws fell out. It's not good, you little frickers. Nice and clean over there, guys. What do you think, Sparky? Tire, focus, tire. Well, do we take a front wheel assist tire, make a nice big one? There's a semi tire there. Or do we take both? Don't know. I think we take both. Grab a utility knife and we'll go out and cut some conveyor belting. I bought like 6 knives here last fall, down to none right now. I wonder if this registration should have went in a vehicle instead of just sitting here. Interesting. All right, stand by. ADHD kicked in again. I shouldn't say that. Getting sidetracked easily today. I got a freestanding panel with some belting on it. I think we can just lop that off. Cut this end off, and then hopefully it's enough to make 2 feeders, huh? This is the thick stuff, bud. Getting the same groove. It's all nylon. No metal. Sonoma's getting full. So the good thing about unloading these is we'll get to load them again. We got to cut the bead out, and I just remembered I don't have a sawzall anymore. That's supposed to be on my list. Anybody want to send me a sawzall? My address is in the link down below, I guess, if I don't buy one before you send me one. Thanks. Until then, we will just use the Project Pro, which if you guys haven't ever heard, this is a well-renowned national affiliated company. Project Pro, guaranteed built in the United States, I'm sure, with that kind of name. Yep, or China, either one. Let's do it. Epic time lapse. I've never done this before, but I wonder if we were to mark it and cut it exactly to fit in the bead and then bolt it down there, or if we should just go do it our regular way and overlap it. But I want to make sure I got enough so I can make this other one. Oh, money. I think we'll be okay, huh? Can you even see me? Epic time lapse coming your way, cutting conveyor belting. Nice. Hello? Stand by. That thing should be thrown in the garbage. Here's the bad news. Those bolts are too short. Tractor tire is thicker sidewalled than a pickup, obviously. So I gotta find some different bolts. Or it looks like if you were farther to the outside of the tire, it gets thinner and then it gets thicker by the bead. Maybe we could use these if I stay farther back. I don't know, they barely peek through. I think I can get a nut on them though. And then like this one just barely came through. So once I got it up, leaned against the pickup, and I could come at it from both sides, I was able to push them through. I can't get washers on them, but I like it. She's gonna work fine. They're not gonna move this puppy around either. It's pretty big, and I don't know, this thing will probably hold. This thing could probably hold 700 pounds if you wanted to put that much in it. But of course I never do though. Chasing a hot chick in a Ferrari. Shout out to Chris Farley there. All right, folks, let's get this one unloaded and we'll dice him up. Put that on there. Project Pro to the rescue. Key is you got to push down super hard so it doesn't jump up at all. That's what I figured out. Project Pro, I'm telling you, she's probably got one more tire in her. Not too bad, we only missed two that didn't come all the way through. This one and this one. That one's almost through. Oh yeah! So I'm not going to take the big one. That'll go in a separate pasture. We only need one because it's so huge. We'll go put this one out where we just were. And remember, or you know how in the shows they say previously on Ranching Sodak. So we'll do that. Previously on Ranching Sodak, and then show the clip of me getting to the hay lot with no bales on the back. Might have had a freaking accident here. I got home and there's no bales on the back one. What the frick happened? Good night. Wonder how far. Wonder what the frick happened. The power was off. I'll have to go check it out and see. Anyways, here's what I did to help prevent, it's not a safety latch because I don't think I need it. What I ended up finding out is this thing was not all the way up and then it slowly started leaking down. So I took a sensor off of an old baler I had, and this thing will, I'll show you up in the cab. So that's just yeah, it's a sensor off of an old baler. That's what it is. So what I got figured out then is now, see how the light is on? It's telling me that them arms weren't all the way, those arms had settled down. So now they're all the way up. As soon as they tell me that them arms have inched down like even 1/8 of an inch, that light will come on. We're gonna do that, monitor it that way. For some reason it does settle. Then we're gonna have to dig into putting a valve on here that is normally closed until it's energized. So I'll have a switch in the cab that will energize a valve, which is basically the same as what these are doing. Unless these are leaking or bad, one of these might need to be rebuilt or whatever. It's just a piston down in there with some O-rings and lets oil through a hole, and then it raises up and blocks it. But the other way would be to put a valve, or yeah, it'd be a valve, normally closed valve with no power in line here, so no oil could move, and then we'd energize it, and then it would open, and then you could start using your regular ones. Anyways, that's what happened there. Let's go take some salt out. Get out there where we were 2 hours ago. Well, I guess they ate like 150 pounds in an hour, and they kind of dribbled it all over there, so we got to get them caught up. Get some more out here. They're kind of getting a little bucky. I didn't put any cable or chain on it either because I don't plan to move it. Well, let's run home, get another batch of salt and mineral, and we'll go up by that where we fix that tank and look at that. It's been a few days. We'll see how that's looking. I was going to show you guys some needle grass. I don't know, like down south, I don't know if you guys have needle grass. It's a native prairie grass. The needle is the seed. It hasn't fallen off yet. See how that's got a point there, and then it's got this long kind of tail. This seed is pretty crazy because once it does fall off, it'll land like this. It'll land on the ground with that tip going down, and then this thing will actually corkscrew with the humidity and the daytime or nighttime, or just humidity. But this will turn into like a corkscrew, and then every so often, that when the humidity changes or whatever, this thing will slowly drill itself down into the soil. That tip, it'll just keep drilling down in. And I found these in the ground. You'll see them found in the ground like this, with that coiled up, trying to penetrate into the ground. Anyways, you can't hay that stuff until after all those needles fall off, because those needles they get really super hard. If you don't want that in your hay, because then it gets in their cows' mouths and stuff. So anyway, usually the end of July the needles will fall. Also, side note, I put slime in my airbag, and see that? She works good. I'm not sure if it's gonna plug up my valve or not, but it definitely sealed up the airbag. You can see the slime kind of sticking out the back of that airbag and then little crack. So far it works. I probably put plenty in there. It was a little bit of a mess, but all right, let's cruise out and look at that tank and give them cows a little bits of salt. What's up? Oh, Sassy Pants is gonna come help us now after dinner. I hear some cows right down over the hill. Oh, this puppy should go home with us and get a new bottom put on it, eh? That one's good to go though. Hey, get over here. Run your camera.
Trying to show off your rancher strength.
They didn't knock down our fence. I see I got one post that got knocked out. Some calves going underneath here or something. Oh, and it's almost popped off of there, bud. Overflow's working. Tank is a lot cleaner. Yeah, once this gets dried up, which it's starting to, this is getting better, then we'll bring in some gravel or something, because, yeah, buddy. I thought it should be a little more full than that, but we could raise this up. We'll grab me a pliers. I think we'll raise this a couple of cogs. I'll walk back here. I'll show you where the spring box or the culvert is. And I had quite a few comments of people saying, oh, just put the float on and don't let it overflow, which would work for the most part, except This part will eventually get so muddy because this is where the water was surfacing out of the ground. When the first old timers developed this spring, it was coming out of this side hill. So they dug down, and if you left this thing plugged, what would happen is eventually the water would cut its own trench underground and it would eat its way out of here, out that side hill, just like it was when we found it. Ideally, if you get it to overflow, all this will dry up and then it'll become a seal. So then it'll keep the pressure underground up to the pressure level where our pipe is that comes out of the hill and goes downhill to the tank. The answer is yeah, it would work. And it probably would work for many years, except you'd have a muddy mess up there. And there would be the potential of that losing pressure by cutting its own hole in the ground and releasing pressure out the side hill.
Oh my God! Why did you turn that on?
Well, Ellie's home. We're gonna load up the skidder and four-wheeler and go down and pull up some posts and a little short stretch of old fence. Down where the yearlings are at, on the pasture they were just at, it's all grazed down so we can see what we're doing. Clean some stuff up, and then there's a crossing down there. Well, I got the skid steer. I want to put some more dirt over the top of it if I get to that. It might be too wet, so anyway. Room for the quad back here, boys? Sideways there is. Oh, Ellie! I got my two top hand fence unclipper peoples. All right, we are off to the fence. Well, we are down here. What the plan is, we got a little short stretch, oh, maybe 1,000 feet. This fence here, old, not being used. The new fence got put up over here on the hill. So we're in the pen that this used to be the pen. Now this little portion of the hill became into this pen. Mosquitoes are bad, that's not good. Anyway, the girls are gonna go in front and they're gonna unclip the good T-posts, which are the ones with the clips on it. And then there are some posts that are no good. And I guess this is barbed wire, but that down there is woven. Peel the woven up with forks, and then we'll just ball all of this up together, minus the good posts. We'll try to keep them separate. Well, I'm gonna help them unclip this first batch. All right, they're gonna go over the hill and keep going. I'm gonna start kind of rolling this thing a little bit by hand, maybe. This is just barbed wire, and I'll get the skid steer off, and that's woven. So I'll start pulling that up, kind of lay it all out, smash it all together with the skid steer. I'm gonna drag it back along itself and try to start folding it up a little bit. Pretty steep. I'm gonna use gravity with me to come down this hill. About every 20 feet, I'm just gonna keep folding it up. There was 4 folds, and there's no loose ends on the outsides, they're just loops, as you can see. And then it's down to about 16 feet. So I can just come in here with the pallet fork, scoop it up one time, drag it out, fold it again, then I'll lay it along this other woven wire, and then it'll just get incorporated in, smashed in. So yeah, this is embedded in the ground, an old corner post. That's why we got to bring the skidder, and all that woven is pretty much buried. We got to fork all that out of there. gonna go back towards the beginning and I'm gonna scoop up that ball from before, and I'm gonna scoop up the first 50 feet or 100 feet or whatever. Bug! And then I'm gonna back up, I'm gonna drag it, and I'm gonna fold this big long run just like I kind of folded that first run. You can only back up when you're trying to ball up this wire, and once you pick it up, you can't drive forward because you'll just drive over it. Even this is kind of a mess. Gotta get it away from my tires. Okay, so now that was the beginning. I grabbed it, we folded it once, back again, and now I took my folds and I went over and I grabbed it again. So now I got another tail coming, or another fold coming. So we'll just keep doing that. Then when we get all done, we'll have all these folds that are only like 60 feet long. And then I can fold all those, push them all in one big line, and I can just start tipping them onto each other and making a pile. So I got it all balled up. The best way I can explain to finish your ball off, all I kept doing was backing up, grabbing it and folding it and backing up. Now if you do everything from the side, you have a lot less chance of getting it wrapped around your wheels. Try to keep everything onto your side. Got a few loose ends there.
One unused fence out of here.
Now we pull. Well, folks, I'm gonna let you go. We're loaded up. We're all done. We're heading home. Thanks to Peebs and Sassy Pants, we nailed her. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.